All right, we got a rare opportunity to compare 3 different mechanics tool sets. So we got the Hyper Tough from Walmart for about $25, Husky from Home Depot for about $35, and Stanley from TJ Maxx for about $49. So let's compare them all. So the Hyper Tools has the widest variety at the very lowest quality. It's been my primary one for quite a while. I'm thinking about upgrading, which is why I'm thinking about getting these things. One of the downsides to it is that it does not have a locking mechanism on the ratchets. So these have push buttons. These do not. It's just a twist dial. And the ratchet in the Hyper Tools was so bad, it actually jammed on me all the time, so I had to replace it with a ratchet from another set. So kind of low quality. However, the largest this goes up to is 22 millimeter, which is like the large lug nut. They're 17, 19, 21, and 22, I think. Something like that, like lug nuts. So this is like the largest lug nut you're going to find, so you'll be prepared for anything. Whereas the largest these two go up to is 19 millimeters. So just so you know, there's no cutouts on the inside of the Hyper Tools, so these just slide in and off, and they kind of fall off pretty easily. And that's been one of my problems when I was working on my car. The 10 mil kept falling off, the ratchet, and it would fall. Then I'd have to use like a magnet, like stick to pull the pieces. I spend hours because of slipping stuff. So that's why I was thinking about upgrading. So kind of a downside on there, but you do get a little bit wider, a little bit extra large pieces here. What's nice though about this is with both the Stanley and the Hyper Tough, you get spark plug tools. With the Husky, you do not. So that comes in useful. Also wanted to share that these are pretty cool. The button on the Husky is a little bit difficult to push because it's not raised, which might make it a little more durable, but it also kind of like you have to like use your nail to get it in, get in long enough. So I kind of prefer the Stanley button, but it's not a big deal. I'd use either of these happily. One thing that is interesting is that with these two kits, you get one 10 millimeter screw. So if you lose it, like I did, you have to find it. Whereas with the Stanley, for a couple of these, you actually get up to 3. So you got one with the 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch. So you can see, so you get the 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, and another 3/8 inch it's extended. So you get 3 10 millimeters. You also get it's all the way down. You get extensions for 3/8 to 5/8 and 14 millimeter to 10 millimeter. So for the extensions and a Stanley. So that's nice because you get extra. It's nice to have backups in case you lose one. So another thing, let's see. Yeah, we get a. This has a 1/2 inch. This has 3/8 and 3/8 inch. The other ones are 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch. And with this one, you get two different ways of using it. So those are some of the big differences. Also, the Husky comes with these that you can stick in a screwdriver, or but they're not magnetic, and I really only want to use these if they're magnetic. So I'd swap these out and put magnetic ones in. Just when you lose a lot of screws and nuts, you want the magnets. But at least it has a carrying case for them, and that's kind of nice. So you get a wider variety of. Get a few extra pieces with the Stanley for the screwdriver than you do with the other two kits. This kit only comes with 1 band, and so 3 Torx, but Stanley's got pretty much everything. It does not have Torx though, whereas this has some. The Hyper Tools does have the Torx, so it's another thing to consider. So, yeah, those are some of the main differences. Hope that helps. So, in quick review, locking mechanism, no locking mechanism, poor quality, pretty decent quality. These two also have lifetime warranties, where you just send You send a broken part in, they'll send one back. I'm not sure what happens if you lose a piece though. The Stanley did actually come with a missing part, so I'm gonna have to call and ask what to do about that. So quality control, I guess, there. And let's see any other notes. Oh yeah, height. So I wanted to show you guys the 10 millimeter. So another nice thing about the Hyper Tough is that if you work in small places, you kind of want something that's a little bit smaller. So the Hyper Tough actually these are all 10 millimeters. So these are the smallest 10 millimeter of each of these. So you can see how it's uneven, but if you go like this, you see that Hyper Tough, the other three are essentially pretty similar, but the Hyper Tough is a bit smaller. So if there's like a really tight space, Hyper Tough's might be the way to go. So I don't want to. I've already bought this a long time ago, so I'm not going to get rid of it. What I might do is pull a couple pieces out of it and then supplement one of these other toolkits, namely the spark plug if I go with this, and maybe some of these thin things if I know I'm going to be working in tight places. Hope that helps.